leave you laid out on the floor. Try to duck and roll, hit and miss, now you counting stars. Should've practiced more, should've hit the mask, get out there more. Claim that you're the best. You gotta show me, son, actions over words, baby boy, is you real or what? Talking way too much, world come. Back sports, talking way too much, world come. Back sports, talking way too much, world come. Back
in the building. I am Cam Metwitz on deck. You already know, man. WCS back on the boulevard. One love to the Archbishop, WCS, and everyone in the chat. The apostles in the building to layeth the hand and spread the good news of boxing. Can I get an amen? You know what I'm saying? Stick 'em boys, fishing and sports on deck. Salute WCS, salute chat fam. Cooking class 2 in session. Absolutely. Big plus in boxing on deck. HGC, WCS, what's good? What's good? Everyone is in the building. Once again, this is the Hot Grease Chronicles 107 over. I say again, 107 over. I want to first start with Jahad Tucker. Shout out to 154-pound rising sensation, 10-0 undefeated. Yes, I want to talk about his fight. He has up coming up July 1st, man. It's a big deal. You know what I'm saying? Jahad Tucker back on deck. July 1st. Top Rank Promotions. You know what I'm saying? He's coming off that phenomenal victory off Section S Billy. Went in there and performed absolutely tenacious, brutishly, domineeringly. You know what I'm saying? He went in there and did what he's supposed to do, real talk. Even though some people believe it wouldn't work out that way, it absolutely did. He proved he has another level to his game. So he will be stepping back through the ropes July 1st. And man, this will be his 11th professional fight. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people are looking. They're paying attention. You know what I'm saying? LeBron James of boxing. You know, a lot of people paying attention. So read the article that's out there, boxingscene.com. You know, that he just recently did. He has been on record calling out Xander Zayas. I know that's not going to sit well when fighters feel some type of way about another fighter being in a full contact sport where you're supposed to challenge yourself, and them being called out when they believe they're on a higher level. Not the case. Jahad has proven that he's ready for that fight. I don't consider it a step up either. You know what I'm saying? I don't consider it a step up. I consider it another, challenge to step in the square and fight somebody with a name. You know what I'm saying? They're both 20 years old. Why not? So shout out to Team Tucker. Go in there and get those hands to working. You already know what it is. Big salute from World Combat Sports there, Jahad, and your team. Well, you already know where I'm going with this, right? Not too long ago, I put this thumbnail out there. Hottest topic on YouTube. Terrence Bud Crawford, 2-time undisputed. You know what I'm saying? This will be hoping for in 2023. Hottest topic on YouTube again. So his name has arisen. Okay, but this time I want to speak about some tweets that's very profound when it comes to this situation with Crawford. Why? Because I'm still trying to perform the ultrasound. You know what I'm saying? I'm still trying to complete the ultrasound. Well, all these aerosexuals are trying to reproduce and clone one another. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to find the queen. You know what I'm saying? If I can shut that down from this reproduction, because it just seems like more and more of these aerosexuals keep running around amok. And I'm trying to find a way, a plan B, C, D, all that. You know what I'm saying? There has to be a way to stop it. But there's some tweets, not new tweets, but some tweets that was profound when he released them last year. And I feel that those tweets pretty much sent the message of their own, not just what he said in it, but just, you know, his frustration with the entire negotiation process. People tend to overlook this and go with their own narrative and say, well, Crawford got up, he walked away, all he should have done is sign the contract. And I keep saying to myself, these are adults we talking about. These are adults that would be extremely pissed off if you was talking to them one-on-one and you said anything to the point of them acting like a child or act like they wasn't mature enough to have a conversation, you know, so simple. But to hear them continue to say, well, he should just sign the contract. And then I'm like, me and plenty of other people, like, what contract? Like, where are all these documents that's supposed to be something that the outside world know about? Where's all the documentation to prove what you're talking about? You just can't sit up here and say, all he had to do is sign three documents. All he had to do is sign 3 documents. 3 documents. Where's these documents? People tell you what you can look up online and what you can Google all the time. But where's the documents, though? Where's the documents? See, that's what separates the Crawford supporters from the aerosexuals, because the aerosexuals fabricate language that they cannot validate. You don't have no way of proving that there was 3 contracts that need to be signed. Why 3? Well, 3 documents. I don't want to make them look a certain way, but they keep talking about a contract, but no one can produce the contract. Am I right or wrong? You all continue to spread the foolishness in 2023, speaking on the contract. And I know it's done purposely, because you love putting in those free man hours. You know what I'm saying? Free of charge, of course. But when you continue to say something and you speak of a document, why isn't there one aerosexual that has access to the document? You have to know where the document is if you speak on it. How do you all have any idea that there was a contract to be signed by Terrence Bud Crawford and not a one soul, not one eye, not one hand, not one picture? No one thought to take a picture and leak it out to the public? No one thought of that? If you was going to allow the community to run with a narrative that Terrence Bud Crawford didn't sign the contract, what was the contract? Does anybody just have a single term sheet? We can work off the term sheet so we can kind of, get around the ballpark of what we're trying to get to. Anybody have a term sheet? Anybody have a contract? Term sheet, contract, term sheet. So if these individuals are unable to produce this documentation, then why are we still talking about the same thing? Like, aren't you tired of popping strings? Aren't you tired of picking up instruments you don't know how to play, but you just want to make a sound and make it look like it's a band? Why do y'all continue to sing the same old tune day in and day out when neither one of you aerosexuals can produce a document to prove that Terrence did not sign a contract? You just can't go off the myth. You know what I'm saying? Something that's wrapped inside a freaking riddle. You know what I'm saying? We're not going off that. We want proof. Just like a receipt. When you go in the store, you purchase something. We want paperwork. If y'all can't produce paperwork, then you should question, why are you putting in countless hours, continue to run with the dang square wheel narrative that Terrence Crawford didn't sign a contract? Who gave you the idea that it was a contract that he didn't sign? Who presented that to you? You trying to tell me you let somebody from over there tell you it was a contract that wasn't going to, whoever they are. It was some type of ghost contract that Casper submitted to you all, and Crawford refused to sign it. Okay, I know the playoff song, so I gotta get down to the business and ask some questions about some tweets that was put out, way back. Let's start with an old tweet here. Errol Spence said, "LOL, no, we saving it for after I beat you, but ain't it's gonna be funny for when that bell ring." Terrence Crawford reply was, "You're a comedian now. I see you must be on the yak." You know what I'm saying? Terrence Crawford said, "I guess you must be on the yak." All right, I do have my archivals that I tend to retrieve, you know what I'm saying, in these cases. Let's go to this one right here. This is very important, y'all. This is very important, because if you don't know the information, then hang around and I'll provide you the information, because there's still people doing debates on Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence. And I just want to give you material that maybe possibly you can use, especially if you're going up against the Udinas Ugas of YTC. You know what I'm saying? If you ever run into that guy, it's easy work. Just take some of the information I give you. It's easy work. And then you should be just fine. It's not going to take that long. Okay. Terrence Crawford said, "Funny thing is, Errol Spence, you knew the fight wasn't going to be this year. Pay and be mindful. Why would he fabricate anything about wordness the way he did if it wasn't on his genuine thoughts?" You know what I'm saying? If this wasn't sitting as a concern of his, if this wasn't some type of stress that him trying to do anything and everything to maximize his negotiation prowess, he felt that he was let down because of deception. The deception coming from that side. He said, "Funny thing is, Errol Spence, you knew the fight wasn't going to be this year. You was on vacation with your family while me and my team was trying to make a fight for November, when you wasn't even in the gym, and it was September. Y'all was just dragging the ish out to blame me. Y'all was just dragging the ish out to blame me." Now this tweet right here, y'all, listen, this is a damaging tweet when it comes down to it. It's very, very damaging. Why would somebody put this together and hit send, or hit enter, and put it out to the world for something so personal, so intimate, when it comes down to deception and betrayal? He said, "You knew the fight wasn't going to be this year." I totally believe him. Terrence Crawford, in my opinion, was fighting. He was in there, exhausting all measures to try to make this fight happen in 2022. Until he found out that he was being played. What is a grown man supposed to do that's trying to make a fight happen? Especially the importance of this fight. He's doing anything and everything to make the fight happen. Now, I told people over and over again that Terrence Crawford was not in negotiation with Errol Spence. Errol is not negotiating anything. And this tweet once again proves it. because he was having dialogue with Errol Spence's manager and not Errol Spence himself. So therefore, when it comes down to what the conversation was, what was discussed, and everything else, Spence wouldn't have no type of recollection of it to even speak on Twitter, because he wasn't even the third party. He was just the other party. When they finished negotiating, he get briefed by his manager. That's how that worked. He wasn't on a three-way call. He wasn't on a conference call. If you was out with your fam at the theme park, how you going to be in fight camp and you at the theme park? And you're talking about a fight coming up real soon in November. It just doesn't work that way. Everybody knows that. Everybody knows that. You're going to be embedded in fight camp to make sure you're in shape and you drop those pounds. But listen to what he said, though. He said the fight wasn't going to be this year. Spence was on vacation with the fam while me and my team was trying to make the fight for November. Come on now. The man is being absolutely honest about what his actions was. He was being absolutely 1,000% honest that he was trying to make the fight. Who would make this up? Who would put lies in there and word it the way he did if he wasn't trying to make the fight happen in November? And then he goes on to clarify that Errol Spence wasn't even at the gym. You want to talk about just lying, just not even being truthful, not even respecting the sport, not even respecting your colleague, your compeer in boxing, not even trying to get this bag. You out and about, making sure nobody take no pictures while they up here trying to put in these long hours for nothing, and you had no intentions of making the fight. That to me says a lot about who's the duck. That to me says a lot about who is being told that this fight isn't going to happen and why. And it's not the culpability of Terrence Crawford. It's definitely whatever's going on with Spence over there. Whether it's his weight, whether there's other physical ailments that's going on that's preventing him from getting a fight camp, whatever allegedly that's going on. They felt that man wasn't ready to step into the ring and they wasn't going to make the fight in November. They might have just as well known that it was too tough of a fight and they didn't want to touch it right now. So they wanted to wait several months later in 2023. And guess what? Just think about this. We're talking about September last year trying to get all this and nothing happened. The fight was called off and other arrangements was made with Crawford to go in the ring. But we're in 2023, y'all, in May. And he still haven't stepped in the ring yet. Crawford just stepped in the ring December. So nobody can put the blame on him like he didn't want to fight or he was out there at the theme park or, you know, he was just gaffing off what he's supposed to, his responsibilities. No, none of that. He was in shape. He's always shown that he's in shape. But the one that's questionable is the one that we see right now in 23 out of shape. And, you know, I ain't gonna lie. I asked certain boxers, I said, have you seen a fighter that's, you know, like, if this fight's supposed to be in November, would you think a fighter would be as big as he is trying to cut weight drastically like that, leading up to a fight? You know, willing to break himself down and go through extra, you know, areas of training that's going to hurt. You know what I'm saying? That's going to even put him in a more worse condition. You know what I'm saying? One that's going to really step on his mental blade. One is going to have him second guessing himself when that weight starts to come off and it gets real bad. You know what I'm saying? You start to really feel like crap. Would he be that big heading into a fight with November? And we this close? And a lot of them saying, no, there's no way if you get into a fight camp, you just holding that much weight and you're not in fight camp. You're out of the theme park, you handling business. And then I remember a person said, so he can't take his family out? He can do what he wants. But I know a real team is not going to have somebody out there riding a roller coaster. They're not going to have you running through a freaking theme park, playing games or something. Anything can happen. You know what I'm saying? Anything. You can twist an ankle, hurt a wrist, throw your shoulder out, whatever the case may be. It's just the whole point that we know pretty much how training camp can be. We know how fighters just get locked in, and their primary focus is that. Period. Bruce Gas Boxing, Jackson Moore, what's good? What's good with it, OG? Let's move to this one right here. What Terrence said, I know why they had to drag this negotiation out. I know and heard from some close people to you what you be doing over there now. Get yourself together and stop doing that ish. And you know what I'm talking about. So hearing this and reading this, do you think he was just fabricating that too? Like, once again, somebody's identifying problems. And this is not the reason why they mad at Crawford. I mean, they mad at Crawford because he's a better fighter. You know what I'm saying? He's a better fighter. But when he put this tweet out here speaking about what people told him is going on, well, guess what? It's people that tell me stuff too. You remember when I told you about a certain individual that showed me a video of Spence that was out of the club? I said, I don't want it. I don't want it. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't an old video like that. I said, I don't want it. I don't want to deal with it. You know what I'm saying? Because there's a lot of people that watch your content that you don't know, but when they finally get a hold of you, they say, hey, this is what I got so-and-so. I say, I'm not touching that right there. That's not my point, is to put him out there. I'll say what I have to say about his public record, but I'm not in Texas. I'm not putting videos out there. Somebody who had a video of him hanging out and he was intoxicated. I'm not putting that out there. But to what Terrence Crawford said was, he heard from some close people what you be doing over there. He didn't say what you might be doing, what you possibly doing. He pretty much put it out there and confirmed that they said what you're doing over there. Now we can use our own mind. We can come up with our own conclusion as to what that may be based off the public record. You can call it whatever you want, assumptions, insinuations, or whatever the case. But Crawford put it out there. He made it perfectly clear. He put it out there. There's nothing wrong with him putting it out there if people are letting him know, hey, man, I know you're out there trying to make this fight happen, but this is what's going on over here in Texas. After he started getting that word, people start probably telling, he probably just thought to himself, you know what, it'd be smart of me, to pretty much go the other way. But still, he stayed put and tried to exhaust all his measures in that negotiations, down to the last revision that they wanted to change it to a whole nother year. Let's take a look at this tweet right here. I'll read you what this say. Hold up. Let me bring it up. Okay, so this tweet that's there, don't worry, I'm gonna read it off to you anyway. thought I already had it pulled up. So so from the top, Errol Spence said, I've been doing all the heavy lifting. All right. We heard that term because once he said heavy lifting, all the aerosexuals ran with it like they found a new freaking gene in their body that they can become immortal. For real, the way I heard them talking about it, it's almost like they felt that like they're a Marvel comic. Spence been doing all the heavy lifting. Errol said, I've been doing all the heavy lifting. I cleared the way for him. For real. Porter was semi-retired. Look at the fight Porter had before Bud, Famella, LOL, and Kell Brook was done and over. So he's claiming that the two opposition that was his opposition first, the two opposition that Crawford faced was over the hill. You know what I'm saying? He tried to devalue two fighters that he fought. One, Kell Brook, was seriously injured from 2 weight classes up and took extreme amount of damage. You know what I'm saying? We already know Sean Porter was his toughest fight. Seriously, Sean gave him a hell of a fight, and he barely squeaked that out with a split decision. All right? He goes on to say, you capping again. This is Errol Spence. Not in September. It was October 2nd. I went for my oldest birthday. I went to my oldest birthday, okay? He's trying to say, look. He's trying to say, I wasn't out in September. I was out in October. Now, if this doesn't prove to you that the fight wasn't going to happen, bro, he had no intentions of the fight happening. Look, he clarified. He clarified what he believed Crawford to make a mistake about. He said, no, I wasn't out in September. It was October, even closer to the November date. So that even proves further that Errol Spence wasn't going to fight because he was just going to family functions and everything else. He wasn't locked in the training camp. He said, you capping again, not September. It was October 2nd. I went for my oldest birthday. He was dragging because you had the BFL pay-per-view you was talking about. So I'm thinking he's talking about Black Prime or whatever. Terrence Crawford said, the funny thing is, at Errol Spence, you knew the fight wasn't going to be this year. All right. That makes all the sense in the world, right? If he was going to birthday parties and stuff in October, he knew the fight wasn't going to be this year. That's why he wasn't locked in to training camp. He said, the funny thing is, Errol Spence, you knew the fight wasn't going to be this year. Your behind was on vacation with your family while me and my team was trying to make a fight for November when you wasn't even training. Spence said, you do. And we gave you everything for 3 things that was already in the contract. What we do know is we wasn't talking about a contract. It's no need for them to give him anything in agreeance to a contract that they don't plan on signing for the year that he wanted to fight. There's no need to even agree to anything. If Crawford agreed, kudos on him for continuing to want to try to bring this fight together, try to bridge the gap that they had. But it wasn't possible when the other side didn't even have the intent of stepping in the ring in November. They probably say, oh, we're going to just go through the negotiations so it can hit the public. The public can speak on it, put it out in the media like everything, continue to keep eyeballs, because Frank Martin got a fight coming up in December. Continue to keep eyeballs on you. All right. That's what they always do to us, people. Frank Martin got a fight coming up in freaking December. Just keep eyes on us, eyes as long as we possibly can. And that's what happened. Finally, it was confirmed. It wasn't no more doubt or anything. He had to get up, do an about face, march out of that negotiation into the next step to be able to fight in 2022. It was no reason to sit on your hands. You wasn't contractually obligated to PBC. Why? Because it proves he went in there and fought David Avanesian. He didn't face no repercussion or consequences legally. He didn't sign no contract. If these contracts and term sheets was present, all I'm saying is there should have been at least one person or two or three that can pretty much confirm that this is indeed true. That the contract was out there with no signature and it had 2022 up in there. It's easy. If you're going to run with it all the time and you're going to keep on beating it, you know what I'm saying? Peeling that Band-Aid, peeling the scab off, and revisiting this sore topic for you, you have to be able to produce documentation for that contract. If you can't produce no documentation that he didn't sign a contract, why are you speaking on it? That's just like saying you bought $1 million home, but you can't show one mortgage statement. You can't show one piece of documentation that you bought it. You don't have no documentation. You telling everybody, hey man, I paid this vehicle off. Where's the title? Oh man, what had happened, man? That thing got lost in the mail and everything, man. You know what I'm saying? I gotta call them again and see if they send it to me. The tweets that Crawford sent out clearly deads this whole entire subject, because he pretty much thought he was going to be fighting that year, and they was at a theme park, man. Aerosexuals know it. I know it. Everyone else knows it. You know what I'm saying? There's no need to keep on boring the people. There's no need to keep on talking about a contract every time a debate come up. Anybody in the debate, if I was in the debate, you mentioned the contract, I'm gonna win the debate. I'm gonna win the debate easy, because I'm gonna tell you to present one piece of documentation on that contract. If you can't give me that, then it's not even debatable. It's not even debatable, because I can debate about everything I know that's out here on the media. But if you're going to use the debate and say, well, it was a contract that he didn't sign, where did you get that information at? And we're not just talking about social media. We're talking about, can you produce any type of contract, term sheet, anything to validate this fight was going to take place? And it was up to Crawford, solely up to Crawford, to put the pen to paper and put his John Hancock on there and be done with it. We got to fight. Let's set up the presser. No one on that side was talking about that. You know it. I know it. Everybody else know it. And when Spence talk about the heavy lifting, guess what? 1 + 0 = 1. All right. 1 + 1 more = 2. 2 + 1 more = 3. 3 + 0 remains at 3. You can't get a fourth title unless you add it to the 3 that you have. And the way you're doing business, you seem like you don't want to add it to the 3. It's just not a give and take situation. It's much more business orientated like that. We in prize fighting. You know what I'm saying? This is prize fighting at the end of the day. Boxing is a business. The type of language I've heard from my people, the black extremists, the type of language that I heard them speak on is just straight up embarrassing, man. I hear them talk about just sign anything. I've heard them call this man everything that you can think about when it comes to slaves. You know what I'm saying? They have made it their intent, their malicious intent, to compare this man to a slave. And you ask yourself, what kind of black man is that? You know what I'm saying? You want to compare him to Toby and Kunta Kinte. That's the most vivid imagination that you can come to. You want to call that man top ranked Toby. You know what I'm saying? You want to call somebody top ranked Toby, but yet you have another fighter that you support heavy that signed with the same promotion. Why that doesn't get the same shine, huh? You see how it all plays out when you're dealing with a group of dummies? They'll sit up here and think Oh, I'm all in for this right here. I don't care about nothing else. I'm gonna try myself. I'm gonna try my best to destroy everything Crawford got going on. Right? That dies down, and then guess what? A scenario plays out where you in bed to support another fighter that signed with the same promotion that you was calling a plantation. How does that even come about? How does that even work? How do you clean that up? How do you become the janitor to clean up that mess? How? You can't. You can't. And then to tell that man to leave and sign with PBC, and then turn around and say if he signed with PBC, he's stupid for doing it. Because he's not going to win the fight. He's not the so-called golden child over at PBC. You all tell this man to leave, criticize him when he departs. He make entry and make contact over there at PBC, and you're mad that he's over there. Why? Because he doesn't have a promoter. You saying he's not the smartest for going over there without a promoter, but you overlook his action. His action is, I want to come over here and see, can I make this fight without a promoter? They're making it seem like, oh, how dare you? Oh my God. No, but these are the same people that's very confusing to certain individuals. They're extremely contradicting to the 10th power. They said he should leave Top Rank immediately. Criticize, he should take whatever PBC gives him. Once again, these are black extremists, and they say he should take whatever Top Rank gives him. Challenge, learn how to be the challenger. Humble yourself. Shut up. Take less money. This is coming from a black man who has the same shade of skin as myself. They're basically telling another black man to once again revisit what his ancestors had to go through so we can walk around and be free as we are. But that doesn't matter this damn time, because you have certain individuals that know that if they was on the plantation back then, all they would be doing is running and telling on other slaves. That's a fact. They know they know what the definition of a coward is. But they told that man just to go over there and take whatever they give him. But yet this is a business. They'll get mad at what another fighter had to take for a contract, but they couldn't do anything about it. Every fighter want to get paid their worth. They should get paid their worth. It's no retirement plan. But in this particular case, Crawford attempted to go over there and complete his due diligence and make the fight happen. But ultimately, his team and himself determined that they wasn't going to fight in 2022. He wasn't even in fight camp. And then he has individuals telling him that the man was still on the liquid, allegedly. So how do we deal with this? We continue to hold these individuals Let me get to these chats right quick. Toby Bartlett on deck. What it do? Shout out to Toby across the pond, man. Salute to you. I know and heard what you be doing over there sound like some female. The Bud out here worried about another man's personal business. Just fight, dude. I look at it like this, man. It's easy for somebody to hear a comment like that. Just like somebody said, humble yourself is female traits, right? We know that's not the case. We know that's just a term that's naturally used according to the situation. But people talk all the time. It's people that talk back and forth on here all the time, drop links and other things just because they heard somebody else speaking on somebody that they close to. You know what I'm saying? Speaking on somebody they close to. It's easy for a dude to say, well, it's some female stuff. Because that's just a habit that men tend to use on this social media. Everything has to deal with a female. You can't talk about a female in a good way and say something about it like naturally, like heterosexuals do. But every time it comes to a man doing something, it's not just something a man would do. It always got to be directed to a female. Not the way I move. Not the way I move. You know what I'm saying? If somebody tells me something, I just take it as somebody looking out for me and telling me something. I don't find it like no females. How is communication based off a female? A female didn't invent the mobile phone. A female didn't invent, you know what I'm saying, the method for communication. A female is not the person that you speak to every time you get on the phone when you have questions. You know what I'm saying? I mean, come on, man. That's antiquated in my opinion. Like that doesn't hold no weight over here. None. You know what I'm saying? That holds no weight. Because it's just easy to say. It's easy to say if you're talking about a person that you don't favor. I get it. But just to say, well, somebody told me what you're doing over there, that happens all the time. It's called communication. It's called having a dialogue. It's called a transfer of intel. It doesn't have anything to do with a woman. You know what I'm saying? It has absolutely nothing to do with a woman, man. You totally off the mark with that, in my opinion. Andrew Charles on deck. What's good? There's no need to unify the vision if you don't want to close the deal. That's all I'm saying. And them titles don't weigh that much anyway. Even if you got 3 titles, they don't hold weight unless you're trying to close the deal to get the entire package signed, sealed, delivered. When you buying a house, you don't sign half of the documents and think you're going to close, and then say, I get to the rest later. It's closing costs. I don't want to sign that portion yet. I get to that closing cost later. Don't worry about it, shawty. I get that closing cost later. No, that's not the way it works. Well, I'm not signing it right now. Well, you ain't moving in. That's just not the way it works. If you're trying to sit up here and pick up all the titles, well, you have to do your due diligence to sign all the paperwork to complete the deal, sign, seal, delivered, so the fight can be officially announced. What's the use of talking about unified titles and it takes 4 to become undisputed in this era? And you have all the belts, but you have the least effort in making the fight. You have the least effort. You have the least effort in making the fight, bro. 11 years in one division to finally become unified is heavy lifting. Hey, can't talk that, man. I got to post that for real. Look, listen, you know how strong I'd be in 11 years? I would have picked up so many titles, man, and put them down, pick them up, put them down, pick them up, put them down, pick them up. I would have been like, man, I like the way my biceps look. God dang, I like the way my biceps and triceps look. That's some heavy lifting. Oh, man, let me stretch. Traps are on point. Yes, sir. I mean, come on, man. You've been in the division that long, and then all of a sudden, Alejandro Barrar, gets you to settle down and actually stay consistent with the 147-pound division. What were you doing? You wasn't focused, man. You wasn't focused. He wasn't focused, IB. He wasn't focused. Just admit it. Nobody wants to hear the unification. What's the point? What does he get for unifying? He just get a label. Okay, he's a unified welterweight world champion. And Crawford wasn't the one who put out the declaration. He wasn't the one having this on his manifesto to say, and I really want to be welterweight undisputed. No, the last time I checked, this man said Crawford, I'm coming for the effing belt. Then, hey, nothing else needs to be said. If you tell somebody you're coming for the effing belt and you put that stern finish to it, you zip it up, I'm coming for the effing belt, then you got to follow through with that. You have to follow through. You know what I'm saying? Like Cam mentioned, you've been in the division over a decade and you all of a sudden doing the heavy lifting of 3 belts. While Crawford, they say Crawford was light, but he could have fought it. He could have came in at 147. The dumbest stuff you will ever hear on this YTC, the dumbest, that I don't know nothing about boxing, for real. Nothing. This man could have came in at 147, but he chose to come in at a lighter division. He won titles at lighter divisions. He proved that he can perform at the highest level at those lighter divisions, and then came up to the welterweight division where Spencer's been kicking rocks and still picked up a title. UK on deck, man. What's good? He said, kissing men regularly, publicly drunk, claiming Chris Algieri, the gym trainer, is a beast. And you acting like a junker. All actions of someone I wouldn't call a beast. Dang, man, UK, man, Sid went in, dog. Man, he got vicious. He took me back to Sid Vicious, who used to, be in wrestling back in the day. Big, tall Sid Vicious, bro. You know what I'm saying? He got Sid Vicious with that comment. For real. And hey, it's just so many things that add up, right? That's public record, okay? I have to put that out there. That's public record. That if Terrence Crawford would just have a smidgen of these encounters attached to his name, these guys will be on here talking about it, not just every day, but they will have to do it every hour on the hour. They will have to continue to let people know. And that's the prejudice part about this. This is when you have the black extremists discriminating against their own kind, because they know on that side, the fighter they support has all these misfortunes attached to his name. I'm not here to judge him, man. I'm just saying publicly, right? He wonder why when the legends are asked about who would win, they say Crawford, based off his discipline and how he treat the sport and going out there and train. But they get mad at the fact that exists, but it's not in the ownership of Terrence Crawford. If those sins were in possession of Terrence Bud Crawford, they would have a field day. They would be glad to come in here and pollute the area. They would, I got a debate. What about Crawford? What about Crawford doing this? What about him having an accident? What him? They say he had a drinking problem. What if they'd be talking about that. They'd be willing to do debates every week, 7 days a week. Let's debate. This is Terrence Crawford versus Errol Spence. Debate 303. 303. We're going to keep this going until we come down to why nobody haven't looked out for this man. But that's not the case, man. It's not the case. It's not attached to his name. He's clear. Like, you have to understand how these cats think. I say this all the time. If they have children, they telling those children to be everybody. They telling their children to be everything opposite of what this guy's been doing out here in public. If their kid was getting in trouble like this, they would try their best to reprimand their child and tell them how disappointed they are. Seriously. But then that's a double life. That's a double standard. They get on here in YTC and totally promote it. They will advocate for a person. They won't even say anything to go against the grain with this person. But yet inside their household, they will act like they're the leader. They will act like they're the example. They will act like they're setting a standard for their kids to emulate. Don't go out here and do this. Don't go with your friends if they're drinking. Don't smoke. Okay? Even look, don't do any of it, because all of that will come back and infect you. And when you get later in life, don't do any of it. But yet you log in and you come out here and you're promoting the same thing by not speaking on it. You saying it's okay to go up here and criticize one fighter who doesn't give you any of that. You just want to create stories and defame that man's name, but the one who is doing it, you refuse to speak up like you do inside your household. You know what that's called now. You know what that's called. You think Mel going to receive orders for the possible Spence match that was floated out there today? I already mentioned that. When I mentioned it, look, when I mentioned that, people just overlooked it. But they know on the YTC. When I put that scenario out there long time ago, I said if these black men want to make money in the PBC, they will fight one another. They have all the tools. They have all the hardware. They have all the medals. They have the crowns. They can make millions if they do it right. And this didn't even involve Crawford. I said if Errol Spence fought Jermell Charlo, people remember when I said it. Al Heyman has the entire layout to make money. All you had to do was pretend like Errol Spence and Jermell Charlo had some type of beef. That ain't hard. Just go on Twitter. Just go on IG. Just say something that's shade, that's slight, throwing shots at Jermell Charlo. You know Jermell good at keeping beefs alive. He gonna retaliate. You know what I'm saying? He gonna react quickly. Even though they just putting on the front, still no one would know if they kept it to themselves. Errol Spence move up to 54 and fight Mel Charlo. Win, he wins. Okay, Mel Charlo already got one loss. What a second one gonna do? Especially if you're getting paid. And then they come back for a rematch, and Mel Charlo becomes two-time undisputed super welterweight world champion. I put it out there, man. But black people, we can't do business like that. I would have been in Al Heyman's ear. I say, Al, I got a plan. Let's go make some money. We got a plan. We have in-house fighters. You get paid, we get paid. Anyone who followed me know damn well I mentioned that. That's millions of dollars going down the drain right there. And then also it could have boosted up both fighters' profile. Errol Spence would have been a 2-division unified champion, right? A 2-division unified champion, undisputed super welterweight. And Jermell Charlo would have been a 2-time undisputed champion at super welterweight. As long as they had that fight and then had the rematch within months after that fight, they could have pulled it off. Seriously. And you know where they could have had the fight? They could have had both of those fights at AT&T Stadium in Texas and gave the crowd what they wanted to see. That's the best hookup that never could have happened, because you got the wrong people. You got the wrong shade people that's playing the lead roles. You got the wrong people, period. They ain't willing to do that. I would have been more than willing. Forget becoming undisputed at 47. I can become undisputed at 54. And I know I'm going to become undisputed. It's in the plan. And then I'm going to go back in for rematch, continue to talk my trash. I beat you. You lost again, Jermell Charlo, blah, blah. Go back in there. People coming to see it in Texas. And Jermell Charlo win on the scorecards. How is one loss going to affect Errol Spence? Anyway, I'm tired of talking about that, bro. I'm tired of talking about that. That's something I mentioned. I put it out there long time ago. Long time ago, I put that out there. What's going on? True Media Today, USA Boxing on deck, man. What's going on with it, coach? I don't know. None of these dudes, they fight for my entertainment. Just tell me when I'm wrong. I don't know any of these dudes to fight for my entertainment. Have no idea what you're talking about. I'm trying to assume, but I don't even have the time to try to figure it out. I'd be real talk. I kind of get what you're talking about. Who is interested in what the fighter is fighting for. You know, when it comes to the consumer or whatever the case. All I'm saying is, as men, this day and time, everything when it comes to a female, it has to be another man acting like a female. When that's what we get criticized for seeing all the time. But when somebody want to talk about a female in a way that's natural, then it comes down to, oh my God, don't say that. Oh my God, that's just not tolerated. You're being disrespectful. Don't respect the queen. The queen, don't say that about the queen. You got to treat the queen. But then they're going around here using all these female insults to other men, emasculizing them every chance they get. But yeah, they act like it's a forbidden language now. It's a forbidden language. Man, please. Duran Too Real for TV. What's good? What's good? On deck. Don Dot on deck. But never gonna these fights. It's a shame. I think Texas Latinos would turn up to see Jamel versus Spence too. It will sell out for sure. Hey, I put it out there, man. But they don't want to listen. It's okay. They don't want to listen. I put it out there, bro. I came with this scenario before Mike Tyson even thought about breathing that. I said, if that's your brother, eat with your brother. You know what I'm saying? I say, y'all brothers, right? And then also, y'all remember that I mentioned the interview that Brian Custer had with Jamel Charlo and how he asked, would he fight Errol Spence? And his bro, they're trying to say, oh man, we from the same hood type stuff. But Brian Custer was putting out there that Errol Spence said, yeah, if the money right or whatever, I'll fight Jamel Charlo. What Jamel Charlo say? Jamel said some stuff like, I'm not quoting him verbatim either. Jamel said some stuff like, if he were to, I win the titles, I'll vacate the titles, rather. If he want them, he can come up there and get them. He didn't say anything, even for Spence, y'all. Even for his stablemate. Even for a stablemate, y'all. He wouldn't even give this man the time of day to show that genuine love, even for a stablemate to say, I would entertain that. Right off the back, I'll fight him. This is why I say black people have a hard time doing business together. Because here go two twins who said their mother said, they promised their mother they'll never fight. So let's exclude that from happening. Because a lot of people will come and see. Look, people will pack out to see both Charlo step in the ring and fight each other. Because that's just a dynamic, bro, that goes deeper than boxing, bro. These are two individuals who are physical specimens and are on the elite level. And for them to get in there and fight each other will look weird as hell. They'll say, oh, what? Who's what? Where? Why they didn't put their name on this? You know what I'm saying? People would come to see both Charlos fight each other. Money. But they say they ain't gonna fight each other. They ain't gonna fight each other. Only black fighters have that, oh, we're not gonna fight each other. Oh, we're not gonna fight each other. Jamel Charlo never said right off the rip that he'll get Errol Spence the shot to fight. This is his stablemate now. This is the opportunity for them to make millions. Millions. And he said that man can come up after he vacate the titles, and if he want them, he can get them. Tell me if that ain't some BS you ain't never heard. This man say if he want the titles, he can get them. If he want them bad enough, he can get them. He didn't say nothing about possibly making a fight with Spence. It's an in-house fight. That's what's the crazy part about it. They always talking about in-house, in-house, in-house. This is a perfect in-house fight. But yet, it's two black fighters. Once again, to my, oh man, that's my dude, man. Oh man, no, he's from the same hood, man. You know what I'm saying? It's just, but y'all ain't trying to make money because y'all always flossing money. I don't have the answers. I don't have the answers, but I agree, Sid. Latinos would come out there to see Jamel versus Spence. And they have a stadium and they have support of Jerry Jones. You trying to tell me they ain't gonna make millions? You trying to tell me Spence and Jamel Charlo isn't a lucrative deal to make? You don't think the beef, even though it would be pretentious, you don't think you can convince people that y'all got beef going on for quite some time? All you have to do is go at each other on Twitter and freaking IG and people will believe it. And then you step in the ring, man, please. It's easy. It's too easy, bro. It's too easy. Shout out to Willie Low on deck. What's good, Willie? One on deck. What's good? I got shooters, homie. Sign the contract. Did you phone the feds on me, homie? That ain't cool. Coach Hazel walking cover the show. Yeah, man, that was hilarious, man. Come on, don't put it out. Don't dish it out if you can't take it. Well, it's the difference between dishing it out and somebody threatening your life, especially when you have people that depend on you and want to see you every day because you're family, and cause you have the right to live. And you don't want nobody holding you accountable for something that you can't account for. You know what I'm saying? Hey, it's really such a logical in-house fight. It is, Andrew. It's extremely lucrative and logical. The money you can make, dude, the money you can make off that fight. At AT&T Stadium, you're giving the fight fans in Texas entertainment. It wouldn't be the first fight that was predetermined, but we're talking about making money. Nobody will never know if everybody keep their mouth shut. Look, they can't say nothing over there at PBC about Al Haymon anyway. So if he's the mastermind, that is the fight. That is the fight. If you're really talking about making some in-house money, you have the hardware. Y'all can't sit down as black men and say, let's make this fight, Spence. Spence said, hey, Mel, let's make this fight, man. We're going to have to be disconnected for several months. But when we get this money, we can laugh about it on the back end. We good? All we have to do is sell it to the people. Man, that's the stuff I'm talking about. Even though I'm campaigning for Bud to get the Mel fight, I'm straight up campaigning for Bud to get the Spence and the Mel fight. I'm not campaigning for everything over there. I'm just basically telling you what I put out there. I put this out there long time ago. And it's just like it never even came to fruition. Like the man has 3 titles now and it still ain't. Like it still haven't been any word. You know if news broke that Spence and Jamel Charlo has been at each other. There's been some in-house problems going on. Anything and everything to build this up. People will believe it. People will believe it, man. See, it's a person I think Spence versus Thurman next is more likely than Bud. After that, who knows? At this point, those mandatories should be called because it's been too long. I really am not trying to talk about, the Keith Thurman situation because it's going to be bad news if Spence Thurman name is the next in line to fight Errol Spence out there. It's been seemingly getting closer for us to finally get the fight that we've been wanting. You know what I'm saying? That situation to make you sigh all the time. You think about like, am I really wasting precious energy and resources talking about this? Do I truly believe it within myself that in the next 4 weeks, possibly this fight will be announced? I'm not sure. I'm not confident about it. But it's funny how news keep on popping out about fight dates. And certain people want to act like it's a crime all of a sudden when all they do is release fake news. Man, come on. Stop the madness, bro. Stop the madness. If Spence come out here and it's Thurman who he's fighting, I just look at it like that's typical boxing. You know what I'm saying? Deception. That's typical boxing. You know what I'm saying? They want to deceive us, keep us on the edge, puppetize us, make sure they keep them strings moving, make sure we stay on the keyboard, make sure we continue to do lives, giving us little nuggets, they're dangling that carrot over us and say, yep, there go a little morsel right there. Go ahead. They keep on doing that, man. We get to a point where we want to be motivated talking about these topics. We don't want to be frustrated. We want to be motivated. But motivation leads to frustration when it comes to find out that it's not even nowhere close. Like when I say nowhere close to being confirmed, like you don't even, it get to a certain point when the ball's supposed to drop. Okay, this is it. And nothing happens. Nothing happens. The ball's supposed to drop. Nothing happens. So how are we supposed to continue to revisit? You don't. You just wait. The people that revisit on the regularity, they really don't care about what they're putting out there. They just feel like, okay, let me continue to talk about it because it builds traction. It builds traction all the time. That's all. 5 days away from it being 5 months since the car crash. That keeps Spence out of boxing. Hey, when he said he was going to announce his big fight 4 days after the crash, which just happened to be in December, man, come on, man. If that wasn't a slap in everybody's face right there, all of a sudden we was going to get big fight news. And then not only that, Brian Custard, he genuinely supports Spence. Spence allowed that man in his gym to spar and everything else. Brian Custard really likes his job. I like Brian Custard, man. He's a stand-up guy, for real. Brian Custard's a stand-up dude, man. But Spence went up there and told that man a blatant lie to his face that he was going to announce a big fight 4 days after the freaking car accident. So what he meant to say, oh, if you look on the calendar, 4 days after that accident happened, I was going to tell y'all about the big fight, but now I had the accident, stuff starting to hurt. And I'll probably be out until April, May, or June. Well, we went through April. And I'm checking right now. It is May. He said April, May, or June. He even put out a tweet, right? He said April XX. Did he not? He said April XX, y'all. What was that about? Another cryptic tweet that didn't mean nothing? That's all I'm saying, bro. He said April XX and nothing happened. He put out a tweet that said, I want to apologize for my inactivity. Maybe in a few weeks, it will all make sense. Since the who? Where? I'm looking around. Where? In a few weeks. What's a few weeks? Like what'll make sense, man? What'll make sense? I don't know. What'll make sense? Real talk. Spence looking like big pun for an athlete at Tank Fight. He can't get ready for Crawford for July date. And I think they're hoping they age Bud out. Look, you can't age anybody out that's taking care of their body. Like, you can preserve your body. You can get older, but if you're working out and you're eating right, you can preserve your body, especially if you fight once a year now. You're talking about Crawford fighting Sean Porter in November 2021. And then he fight one time at the end of 2022. You know what I'm saying? And now we're waiting for him to fight this year. And he's not even about to approach a year out of the ring. So regardless if he's aging, he's still preserving his body. He's in tremendous shape. He's eating right. It seems like he's following the healthy lifestyle, not drinking. He's pretty much not participating in activities or consuming things that can degrade your body internally. And that's very important when it comes to boxing. We know that. Consider Bud Ice out of PBC at this point. Why would they ice the man out of PBC though? I mean, I thought it was all about making money, or that's just for black and Mexican fighters or black and Latino fighters. I thought it was all about business. Why would you ice out a big name like Crawford without making money just because you won't get it, unless he signs for one fight, then you can get, both of y'all get 15 to 20% or whatever the tag is. You know what I'm saying? Whatever the tag is. If Crawford haven't signed with a promoter yet, which I haven't heard anything about that, Golden Boy, anything, right? Unless they did it so secretive, right? If you go over there and sign a one fight deal with PBC, rather, what does he have to be worried about? Man, stop it, Blunt. Stop it, man. This fight gonna separate the boxing community even more because instead of enjoying a great fight, people gonna fanboy and won't give credit to the better man. Well, obviously, you've been around here long enough. I give credit to fighters I don't like or I don't support. I do. If they fought a good fight, I give credit to them if they're the better man. But in this situation, what is clear to me is simply what I believe. I'm not believing in it because it has to do with social media. That's not what my belief extends out to. My belief starts internally, and then I project it out. It doesn't start based off who my audience is. That's not what I'm basing off of. I truly believe Crawford will stop Spence. In the process, that means I believe Crawford will have no problem going in there picking up the victory. That's just what I believe. I can't give you the other side because I don't see it. I don't have a vision there, IB, to think that Errol Spence is going to beat Terrence Crawford, especially after everything that's done happen. Now, I don't know if they're going to be signed up for the clean boxing program or not. Errol haven't been signed up since 2019. You can check it for yourself. But maybe they're going to make sure that he's able to drop the weight by staying out of the clean boxing program. You know what I'm saying? Maybe he's going to get on those eggs and that beef. I don't know. I don't know how good he is with Mauricio Suleiman. Maybe Mauricio can raise the levels or something. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I've seen it done, but I haven't seen him with a black fighter yet. You know what I'm saying? I haven't seen the levels raised. That's all I'm saying, bro. And listen, you talking about separation, man. This community on the YTC is already separated. You have individuals that'll call you with another dude on the line, third party, on mute, listen to the entire conversation just to try to get dirt on you talking about somebody else. Now, if you want to talk about female tendency, now that's some female tendencies that I will absolutely underscore. That happens. You have a person that want to give you, oh man, give my number to call me. And then when you call them, they act like they don't know who you are. Or you have individuals that claim they're gonna do so much, but yet they admin boys. They submitting paperwork on you and everything. You know what I'm saying? They all about typing. All you hear is type. I'm gonna show him. I'm gonna get his channel taken. Okay, I got it. All I remember is Errol saying he's gonna fight November 17th with or without Crawford. Yeah, that was one of the things he said, right? But how much weight does it hold? You know what I'm saying? Because he has all the belts, right? So wasn't he supposed to own up to his word, Don Dollar? Like, wasn't he supposed to own up to that? He's gonna fight November 17th, or was it just cap? That's what he said. He said a lot of stuff, bro. He said, Terrence Crawford, I'm coming for the effing belt. I felt that was cap. I didn't believe him. People was up there cheering. I mean, come on, man. I didn't believe that dude. I guarantee you, if Sean Porter would have came out of there victorious, if he would have been able to complete a miracle in November 2021, Spence would have got in the ring just like he did Sean Porter when he beat Danny Garcia. And we all know what he was that day. He was intoxicated. He damn near stumbled into the ring. He's like, I just want to, I'm up next. I'm up next. I'm up next. So y'all remember that, right? So let me bring some up for you right quick. You think I'm playing? I can't make this up. The Errol section refused to even identify this information even exists. They don't want to identify it. So Sean Porter beat Danny Garcia, and then Errol Spence stumbled into the ring, and he was intoxicated, inebriated, whatever aided you want to. And Sean Porter said, "Yeah, I'll fight you next," because he was put on the spot, right? I guarantee you. And let me finish this. He goes on. Danny Garcia goes on to let me see. Hold up. Yeah. Hold up. Yeah, when he beat Danny Garcia. And then he fought Urdinas Ugas after that. Then he fought Errol Spence. But when Spence got into the ring that night, he said, "I'm calling you out," or whatever he said. I want us to fight next. And Spence was like, "Dang, dog, you just took away." I remember all this. You just took away my post-fight glory. You know what I'm saying? For picking up the WBC belt. You just took away my glory, my night. So he goes on to fight Urdinas Ugas, and then he fights Spence. I bet if Sean Porter would have picked up that WBO title, I guarantee he would have came in the ring then. I bet you he would have came in the ring and said the same thing he did that night that Sean Porter picked up the WBC belt that Errol Spence currently had. Yes, sir. I bet he would have did. I bet he would have did that with ease. He would have did that with ease, man. Yep, low mileage, man. I'm telling you, these fighters are not even fighting frequently. Like Tank just fought 2 pay-per-views in 4 months. That's not happening across the board. That's not even happening in, man, come on, bro. Elite fighters too, that's getting paid pretty good money. They're not fighting 2 pay-per-views in 4 months. No, I never put anything on me unless somebody say me, I feel you, bro. Believe me. You talk your. I already know who you are, bro. I'm just saying. I know you weren't speaking specifically for me. You're talking about Crawford saying something. They said you was on this, that, and the other. I mean, that's easy to put it off as female stuff, but bro, I mean, we got some men out here. We can talk about some men tendencies. I mean, everything has to be the opposite. I'm just not picking up any indications of enthusiasm from Spence or Mel or their representative companies to make this happen. I agree. I mean, but they're going to make it happen, though. Whoever's out there, they're going to make it happen, man. It may not be with Crawford, but they're going to make the fight happen, whoever that may be. And, if they choose to put something out there that it was because of Crawford or whatever, everybody knows it's going to be BS because the man's been in shape. It's been put out there that they resume negotiations. I mean, what is it going to be now? It's not going to be a 65-35 negotiation talks this time. And what I love most about this particular year is that I haven't heard the aerosexual bandits running amok talking about contractual logistics. No one knows anything, just like they didn't know anything last year. Look, let me turn you on the game for those of you that don't want to or refuse to compare how social media operates. You know all these fake fight dates that we get 2022, 2023. It's the same authenticity when it comes down to all those freaking contract details that was going on in 2022. Nothing ever materialized. Somebody drop it, no one knows who dropped it. Because the people who put it out there, they say sources, reported, sources, reported. So we don't really know who dropped it. So when it boils down to it, all these fake fraudulent fight dates, and you can't understand that the same thing happened last year with this information. Fighters know they're fraudulent information out here. They know because they're the ones up close to the situation. But social media, they try to take it as if it's credence. This is legit. This. Okay, give me a document. I don't have no document though. I'm just going off basically what my sources told me. Who is your goddamn sources? I'm not at liberty to discuss that. I'm not at liberty to discuss the sources. The sources got to remain confidential. Okay, if they're confidential, then, and you can't produce paperwork, then you should digress from the topic. That's all I want you to do. Digress from the topic, so we won't sit up here and play the guessing game on what's truth and what's false. That's all. I understand now. Al Heyman background in show business. Bud needs to do some public feminine suspect. Otherwise, Heyman ain't happy. If that ain't the case, then what's that's Bud done wrong? Dave, I gotta post that. I'm just like you, man. I don't know, man. I don't know, bro. Somebody has the answer. I don't know who has the answer. I don't know who has the answer, man. We have fake dates, and people will sit up here and talk about fake dates, and when they don't happen, they don't have nothing to say. But yet, all these bandits was running around here acting as if they were part of Errol Spence's team, talking about freaking negotiations and what somebody didn't sign. You all have wasted your life. Hours upon hours when your girl is in the bed cold. You up into the wee hours of the night when your girl is in there alone, talking about information that you don't even have in your possession. You want to base everything off, hey, tell Bud to sign the contract. What contract, dog? We can't have a whole group of grown men running with the same narrative of a contract and y'all not have one piece of dang paperwork, a documentation. Come on, man. No notary. You can't find a notary. Hey, I just want to get this notarized because it's actually the documents that they was discussing last year in 2022, but I'm the only one have it. The one that can you notarize it so it can be official, put the stamp on that, a seal, and man, I'm about to make me some money on YouTube. That's what one of y'all should do. Why don't y'all go get some documentation and get a notary and have them lock that in so you can come back up here and say, I got documentation, and just wave the papers around in your hand. I got documentation right here. These are it. I guarantee your views will go up. I guarantee them super chats will look real nice. He got the paperwork. And then somebody in the chat said, hey, can you just show us one page? I got the paperwork. I got the paperwork. That's all you need to know. I got the paperwork. I'm put it all out there online, for the members who for the members of the channel, those of you who joined and became members of the channel, they're going to be the only one that can see it. I'm going to put it out there in 7 days just to get membership. I'm going to put this out in 7 days. So those of you that want to be the first to see this contract that I got, go ahead, sign up to be a member. That's the only way you're going to see it. Come on, man. Come on, man. The hustle don't stop. Don't stop. Man, Hov and Queen B ran Al Heyman out of showbiz. Well, he chose to transfer over to boxing because it was much more money, much more consistent money in boxing. It's much more money you can make in boxing on a consistent. Like boxing is an annual sport. The music business, it all depends. But boxing, you know you're gonna get your money most of the time, and sometimes you ain't. Errol bought a ranch to inject into his own meat to ensure elite effects. Oh man, that's pretty smooth. You know what I'm saying? That's pretty cool. I never even thought about that. I'm not trying to touch him like that I ain't trying to say something, but that's pretty slick though. I ain't gonna lie, it's pretty slick. I'll say that. That's pretty slick. You know what I'm saying? That's pretty slick. Real talk. That's pretty slick. Imagine that though. Oh, I guess my cattle is tainted. That's why I eat the meat. Well, you need to find out where you got. I never knew that. Is there any way I'm just gonna submit a appeal to the board. And then he'd get the cow that's supposedly contaminated, and then they'll come up with some. Mauricio say, you know what? It is true. We had this similar situation with Canelo Alvarez. Now that it has somehow made it into Texas, I am totally supporting Errol Spence, and I want to raise the levels up 0.6 because pretty much he's raising his own cattle, and there was a high level of man, come on, man. Oh my God, that's slick though. You know what I'm saying? I don't think AIB, I don't think it can get more separated than what it already is, bro. So, real talk, brother. It's already separated. Like, these cats get personal, and they never even met you in life. They never even seen you in life, dog. Lost all the boxing Q on deck, man. LAB in the building. What's good with you, brother? Al Heyman don't believe in PBC roster. He believe in it because he makes money off of it. He believes in it. He makes money off of it. Al Heyman is a genius, man. For all them people to be under him on his roster and they can't say anything bad about him. Come on, man. Come on, bro. You can't say anything bad about him. That's called control. Control. Yeah, he got control, bro. That's a genius right there. He got control. Yadin's Ooze had 4 losses when he fought Errol, but Ryder's a total bum with 5 losses, with 4 of them being competitive that could have gone either way. I'm not calling Ryder a bum. I'm not calling him a bum. He's unfamiliar to a lot of people, and fighters have multiple losses. Daniel Jacobs have multiple losses, but an exception is made when these losses are from big name fighters. You know what I'm saying? So people do take that in consideration. Who did you lose to? And they go look at the person that you lost to, and they pretty much look at the opponents that they had, and then they try to scale it up or down. You know what I'm saying? They try to scale it up and down to make it work. Like, okay, I can give him a pass. I can give him an exemption because that was a big name fighter. Okay, I got it. I mean, that's the only way you're gonna get on that. Ryder's not a bum, but to be honest with you, like, he's stepping there with Canelo Alvarez. It gives me the Yildirim vibes, man. I know he's not Avni Yildirim. But it's difficult for me to just get excited for this, man. And you know, but yet I understand he's Canelo, man. He deserves to have some soft touches every now and then, for real. He deserves to have some soft touches, man. Look, Canelo can't go in there and fight killers every single time, and he's getting older too. And suppose he have bad knees, he can't fight killers every single outing. Dundada, yes, but Ugas had a belt that Spence wanted. He did. You know, he did. You know, thanks to the SMTP, Simple Transfer Message Protocol. Oh, better yet known as email. Yeah, thank you. Yes, but Ugas had a belt that Spence wanted. Ugas' belt was gifted to him. Please, let's not start talking about gifts in May. Ugas' belt was gifted to him, and this only defense was against the guy who got stripped of the belt for inactivity. talk that talk, walk that walk. That is absolutely facts. I tell people all the time, Manny Pacquiao was put on recess when he did not meet any type of guidelines to put a fighter in recess as a champion. He didn't meet any of them policies. Something that was outside the scope of boxing that caused you, not to be able to defend your title, like a disaster, a tornado, a hurricane, earthquake, volcano. No, that wasn't it. Injured, a fighter that's, injured, has produced paperwork, medical paperwork. They are injured. They're put in the recess. No, that wasn't it. Manny Pacquiao, he was good. He was good. They let that man stay in recess forever. Jesus. They let that man stay in recess forever, bro. I ain't mad at Urdinas Ugas, man. The guy who was at had that that WBA title before him, not the one that Pacquiao had. Besputin is pop positive. So listen, if you really want to be technical, if you really want to be petty, Andrew, Urdinas Ugas received 2 belts via inbox. Besputin popped positive and was stripped. You know what I'm saying? And then he went up here and Pacquiao. It's an amazing gift for Ugas to go through those travels. I ain't mad at him, but that's just the way it is, man. He got 2 notifications and they both included titles. I ain't lying, bro. Very true, but Ryder arguably was Rob versus Rocky and Callum Smith. He just didn't have the big promoter behind him at the time. Still, Ugas has that Pac win for pool plus a strap. He does. Ugas does have Pac-Man on his record, even though Pac-Man is very old right now. Pac-Man is considered an elder statesman, but yet he's about to fight an exhibition. That's why part of me saying, you know what, I don't mind these fighters negotiating their purse, because look at Pacquiao. Pacquiao is an 8th division. He's the only one of his class, right? The man has made millions upon millions, and he still cannot just chill with his family in the Philippines and enjoy life, dog. This man is still freaking going in a fight camp and fighting. Why? Like, dude, explain that to me. You don't want to be around your... What's going on, man? You got to be paid. You got to have... I know money go a long ways in PI. Money go a long ways, bro. Hey, man. That's some slick stuff, man. That's hilarious right there. I ain't gonna lie. That's hilarious, man. That's hilarious. Usually my imagination would take me to a point of reference like that, but you beat me to it. I have no problem with admitting that. Usually my thought process would have led me to roast with that type, but I didn't think of it. I wasn't trying to go that deep into it. You know what I'm saying? But the fact that he's freaking juices on animals is hilarious stuff. Oh my God, that's hilarious, bro. Michael Johnson Boxing talking more. What's good? What's good? Like Maul, Spence, Mel, I could probably think of a few more. We need mandatory and timely defenses of world titles. Hey, when you over there and you running the show like Al Heyman, man, people fight when they want to fight. But you know, these channels that's scared to speak up, it's almost like they on the contract too. You ever think about that? You ever think about these channels that scared? I think they signed some freaking NDAs too, bro. I think they on the gag order of censorship too. They won't say nothing bad about Spence at all. They won't even speak on anything. If you mention one word, your money goes away forever. It ain't no second chance. Your money gone. Your money gone. You understand that? I'm going to send you some documents. I want an electronic signing from all y'all. I want that paperwork back in 2 hours. Callum about to fight Beterbiev next on ESPN. if my information is correct. I want to see Vostik. You know, Vostik left with one loss. He retired. You know what I'm saying? He lost to Baturbiev. He's a good fighter though. Vostik is going to shake up some things. It's a reason why he's coming back. That's why I say boxers, man, it's tough for them to find another career. I don't know, man. It's tough, man. You see these fighters come back all the time, man. But hey, y'all know what it is, man. I got to get to my next topic. If y'all didn't hear, man, the Bronze Bomber, Deontay Wilder, salute to him. The champ was arrested for possession of a firearm on the West Coast, right, in LA, right? So, hold up for a second. I want to bring this up right quick. Y'all hit the like button. So shout out to the champ, man. He was arrested for possession of a firearm, right? And this has been out there already. You know what I'm saying? It's nothing new to the news. Let me bring this up right quick, and I'm going to give you my take on this. And suppose he had a 9mm, you know, of course, it's probably a lightweight, you know, it holds the most rounds. That's definitely what you want in your travels. But the former WBC heavyweight world champion, Deontay Wilder, put this tweet out, say, I'd rather be safe than sorry to end. Hey, man, me being an avid gun owner, I ain't mad at him. Absolutely, from start to finish. It's better to be safe than sorry, because sorry ain't gonna get you anything in return. You know what I'm saying? People can sit up here and shed tears all day. It's not gonna bring back anything. So you better, you especially if you're a high priority, you're a celebrity. You know what I'm saying? And you know, people know. First of all, I want to know why he was pulled over. How did that happen? Like, how did that happen? You know what I'm saying? How was it even searched? Who did what and said what, man? That's what I want to know. How, bro? I know he was like, man, come on, man. Who said I had a firearm? Who did what? How did this happen? You're a long way from dang Alabama, like a long way from Atlanta, too. You know what I'm saying? Like, how did this even happen? Anyway, he posted bond, of course. It's gonna be easy. It's like a penny. It's like a penny to him, and it was best for him to have that protection on him than not have anything at all. Because even though, you know, he got that right hand, he the hardest hitter in boxing. Still, when it comes to that street life, they throw punches different. You know what I'm saying? They throw punches different in the street. We know that. They punch a whole lot different in the street. Seriously. When you're talking about an index finger, that index have a different type of strength to it, especially when it's gripping when that palm gripping that butt stock, that pistol grip. You know what I'm saying? It's different. That's a different type of workout we're talking about. Spence is heavily protected, and I think a lot of them aerosexuals, bloggers are on payroll because, like you said, they won't speak not one negative word. Yeah, they on payroll, man. They on payroll. They don't want to slip up at all because they're gonna have to answer. So they'll just go up here and say, okay, let's just run a smear campaign. We protect it. We signed a contract. we got an agreement. You know, we're never gonna go against the grain. But listen, they're gonna be forced to go against the grain when if they do fight and Spence lose those titles, they're gonna be forced to go against the grain. They're gonna be forced. What you gonna do? He gonna lose the titles and you ain't gonna do one live on him? Nah, I wouldn't try that if I was y'all. I would try. You want to talk about who's that peeking through your window? I'm definitely gonna be peeking through your window on social media. Who's that peeking through your window? Real dog. They say it's tit. Let me see. They say his tent and plate and said they smell. Oh man, come on now. Hey, I ain't gonna go. Whatever. You know what I'm saying? You know. Listen, we're talking about the West Coast. Isn't weed legal over there? Isn't it weed dispensaries and all that legal over there? Real talk. I'm pretty sure they smell weed all day, every day with all those dispensaries. I was there. People be hotboxing all the time, man. No, man. Talking about smelling weed? No, bro. No, bro. I'm pretty. I can be wrong, but I'm just thinking like everybody and their mama got a weed card over there. You know what I'm saying? And it's legal to a point. You can have a certain amount on you. So that smelling weed, I don't know about that, bro. You know what I'm saying? He might have been in a real nice vehicle, a luxury vehicle, and I don't know, man. He might have thought it was a hip hop artist. You know how, sometimes they might think they catching a hip hop artist, rolling through the strip. They scoop them up. Oh man, we got one. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. But it's good, in my opinion, for him to have it than not to. I don't know in that case what they do. Do they confiscate the weapon and you don't get it back? I don't know. I can't call it. But man, y'all hold it down. Appreciate y'all pulling up. And we continue to keep a close eye to what happens on the side. You know what I'm saying? In the side view mirror. See if anything is pulling up behind this, man, with this fight information. I want to see if this fight information is really going to take off sometime or another. You know what I'm saying? Until then, man, y'all hold it down, man. Turn up and tune in to World Combat Sports, man. Hit the like button on your way out. Peace.